Hey there, are you ready to casserole? Today I'm going to be showing you a bunch of new casserole recipes that you might not actually know exist until today. I love making casseroles for my family because you could pretty much throw everything into a casserole dish, stick it into the oven, and then you have a very quick and easy dinner to serve to your family. I hope you enjoy this video, and let's head to my kitchen and let's start cooking. We're gonna get kicked off today by making one of my husband's favorites. This chicken stuffing zucchini bake is phenomenal. I have 3 zucchinis right here. I'm just going to dice them into smaller pieces. Now over to a large bowl, I'm going to be adding 1 6-ounce box of stovetop chicken stuffing mix. I do like using the stovetop brand. Next, I'm adding a half a cup of melted butter, and you're going to mix this all together. You will want to remove about half of this stuffing just to go on top of the casserole at the very end. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just removing half of it to a separate bowl. I'm going to set the bowl to the side. So now I have about 3 cups of some shredded chicken that's cooked. I just cooked mine up in the Instant Pot and then shredded it from there. But you could use a rotisserie chicken, just shred that up, whatever you like to use. So after I added the chicken in, I added our diced zucchini along with 1 can of cream of chicken soup, a half a cup of some sour cream, and then just a little dash of some salt and pepper, and give this a really good stir. After I place the casserole in my greased 9x13 baking dish, I'm just going to top it with about 1.5 cups of some shredded sharp cheddar cheese. You could really use any cheese you like for this recipe though. Lastly, I'm just going to top it with the remainder of the stuffing. Bake this on 350 degrees for about 35 minutes. Here's the finished product. This casserole comes out so delicious. It has a ton of great flavor, and then adding the stuffing on the very top gives it a really nice crunch. I used to make this beef enchilada casserole all the time when Will and I first got married. My husband, Will, he always would request it, so I really liked making it. I'm going to begin by cooking up 1 pound of some ground beef. I just added a little bit of some salt and pepper to it. Now that our ground beef is completely cooked, I just added it into this large bowl along with 1 14-ounce can of some diced tomatoes, 14 ounces of some canned corn. I did drain the corn, a can of drained and rinsed black beans, and 5 ounces of some red chili enchilada sauce. And then to give this a lot of great flavor, I just added about a teaspoon of some chili powder, a teaspoon and a half of cumin, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a little dash of some salt and pepper. Give this a really good stir. Over to my 9x13 baking dish, I'm just going to pour the rest of the enchilada sauce in there. It's only 5 ounces left. I used a 10-ounce can if you were wondering. I just placed 6 corn tortillas on this plate, and you're going to want to spread some refried beans over the top of the corn tortillas. You could use any type of refried beans you like, but I do like the no-fat Rosarita brand. That's just my preference. And then you're going to stick them on the bottom of your 9x13 baking dish. Now that I added my corn tortillas with refried beans into my baking dish, I'm going to pour half of the ground beef, black bean, and corn mixture on top, sprinkle it with a little bit of cheese, and then add a second layer of corn tortillas with refried beans. I just love how all of these casseroles are so simple to throw together. So I just added the remainder of the ground beef, black bean, and corn mixture on top, and then I'm sprinkling it with a 1.5 cups of some shredded sharp cheddar cheese. This is going to bake on 350 for about 35 minutes. I really love making this casserole because it is packed full of so many delicious ingredients. I like to top mine with some sour cream, lime, and cherry tomatoes. Now I really got to show you one of my all-time favorite broccoli cheddar chicken casseroles. You're going to begin with 1 cup of some minute white rice. Add that to your bowl. You have to use the minute rice. Don't use regular rice or it won't turn out. You got to trust me. 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 cups of chicken broth, 2 cups of cooked shredded chicken. Again, I cooked mine up in the Instant Pot, then shredded it from there, but just cook yours up however you choose to do so. Half a cup of milk, half a cup of sour cream, 2 cups of fresh chopped spinach, 1 can of cream of chicken soup or cream of mushroom, whatever your preference is, a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, and then for the seasonings, I added a half a teaspoon of garlic powder and onion powder, and then just a dash of some salt and pepper. I placed this in my greased casserole dish, kind of the equivalent to a 9x13 baking dish. I covered it with about 2 cups of some sharp cheddar cheese that's shredded. This is going to bake covered for 20 minutes on 350 and then uncovered for an additional 10 minutes. I don't know what it is with this casserole, but whenever I make this for my family, my little daughter, Brinley, she devours this. She absolutely loves this casserole. I don't know what it is, like I said, but this is just such a great meal. I've been making this fiesta dish for quite a while now, and whenever my younger sister comes over to visit, she always requests it. To begin, I'm going to boil up 2.5 cups of pasta in this pot. Use any type of pasta you like. While I do have that cooking over in my separate bowl, I'm going to be adding 1 cup of salsa along with 1 cup of sour cream. You could really use any type of salsa that you like. Next, for the seasoning, add 2 tablespoons of some taco seasoning, along with about a half a teaspoon of cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, and then just a little dash of some salt and pepper. Whisk this together. Now that our pasta is completely cooked and then I drained it, I just added it into the sour cream and salsa mixture. I'm just going to stir it to combine. Next, you're going to be wanting to add 1 can of drained and rinsed black beans, along with 1 can of drained corn and 2 cups of some shredded chicken. Of course, I did mine in the Instant Pot, and then go ahead and give this a really good stir. After I added this into my large round baking dish, or you could use a 9x13 baking dish, I sprinkled it with 1.5 cups of some shredded sharp cheddar cheese. This is going to bake covered on 350 for 20 minutes and then bake it uncovered for an additional 5 to 10 minutes. Here's my plate of food. I absolutely love how flavorsome this dish is, and then I also love how it's kind of a little bit more creative and unique. Now we're making some $1 million spaghetti, and if you've never tried anything like this before, you really have to. I'm beginning by boiling up 1 pound of some spaghetti noodles in my pot, and then over to my pan, I have 1 pound of some ground beef in there. I'm just going to add a couple teaspoons of some minced garlic and 1 diced up white onion. I'm going to cook the ground beef, onion, and garlic all together. Now that my ground beef is cooked and I drained out any of the excess grease, I'm adding a teaspoon of some Italian seasoning along with 2 cups of some marinara sauce. You could use any type of marinara sauce you like. Just let this simmer all together for a few minutes. Once my spaghetti noodles finished cooking, I just drained them and then added them back into my pot with the last cup of marinara sauce that was left in the jar. I'm just going to stir the marinara sauce all around until it gets coated on all of the spaghetti noodles. Now for my favorite part, the cheesy mixture, I just added 8 ounces of some softened cream cheese with 1 cup of ricotta cheese into my bowl, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of some Italian seasoning. Just whisk this all together. To assemble our $1 million spaghetti, I added half of the spaghetti noodles into my 9x13 baking dish that I did grease with some nonstick spray. Next, you're going to add the ricotta and cream cheese mixture on top and spread that out as even as possible. Now I'm just adding the remainder of the spaghetti noodles right on top of that cheesy mixture. Spread that out as even as possible, then place the ground beef and marinara sauce on top. Again, I spread that out as even as possible. I'm going to top this with 2 cups of mozzarella cheese and a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. This will bake on 350 for about 30 minutes. Here's the finished product. Like I said previously, if you've never made $1 million spaghetti before, I definitely recommend it. I love this recipe. It just takes me right back to my childhood. I ate this quite often growing up. That is it for today. I hope you found a casserole that you might be able to make for yourself. As always, if you are new here and you liked this video, I'd love to have you at my channel, so go ahead and subscribe down below the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.